look like Dillon Gabriel has responded back to Kevin Stefanski and Myles Garrett after their comments after his poor performance.
Dillon Gabriel just proved that winning the job doesn't always mean earning it. Sometimes the football gods just crave chaos. His reaction to beating out Shedeur Sanders had zero QB1 swagger, an all-group project guy who barely helped energy. You know that unsure celebration after a lucky pass? That's Dillon already spiraling faster than one of his deep throws.
Probably not, obviously not happy we won, or lost, but yeah. Bodies, yeah, physically, sure, yeah.
How tough was it out there with those guys just keying off and took 16 hits, 6 sacks, just how physical, aggressive, and everything?
Yeah, they're a really good team. I think on the sack end, there's things that I can help to do to try and get it out as quick as possible, just so we're not in the negative on first and second down. So things, we got to learn from.
Dillon Gabriel is living every backup quarterback's dream, the kind where you wake up and realize you got promoted not for talent, but for experience. His rise feels like a resume that got way too much credit. Stefanski took one look and said, "He's steady, he won't break the system." Translation? Gabriel's the human version of white bread, safe, plain, and apparently just reliable enough to get toasted every Sunday.
Unfortunately, Cleveland Brown fans, you did not win the game today. Today might have been one of the worst games y'all done lost in a mighty long time. Everybody and their mama is extremely frustrated with Kevin Stefanski and the offense. The offense cannot get going. And I mean, at this point, Dillon Gabriel has proven he do not need to be a starter in the National Football League. He missed a ton of throws.
But let's be honest, everyone in that locker room knows what's coming. Shedeur Sanders is sitting right there, cooler than a blizzard and calmer than a Sunday choir, just waiting for his moment to flip this quarterback situation into a full-blown highlight reel. The energy around him crackles enough to make defensive coordinators sweat before kickoff. And every time Shedeur walks by, you can almost feel Dillon's pocket tighten with the weight of what's inevitable.
We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. Got a couple of things involving the Browns. Continued fallout around, Kevin Stefanski being the Cleveland Browns coach. At least, I think he's still the Cleveland Browns coach. Let me make sure. Kevin yeah. When I was getting everything together for this video about 2 hours ago, he was still employed. He is still employed. I'm sorry, Browns fans. That's up to the second for you guys. This is another I'm sorry.
See, the funny thing about experience is that it sounds impressive right up until it starts looking outdated. It's like bragging about still using a flip phone because it never crashes. Sure, it works, but no one's lining up to copy you. Stefanski might be sold on Dillon's years under center, but longevity doesn't equal greatness. It just means you've had more chances to repeat the same mistakes.
It's just been, it's sad because going into the season, a lot of people knew that this season wouldn't be good, but nobody anticipated it being this bad. Even me. If anybody should be mad, it should be me because I'm the only one that predicted 8-9. So if anybody should be upset, it's me. But when you watch it, when you watch this team play, there's no excitement. The only exciting thing about this team is the defense. And once a team scores 20-plus points, or even if they go up 14, it's kind of that's it. That's the end of the game.
Lately, it feels like Dillon Gabriel's Real superpower is doing the bare minimum so convincingly that it looks strategic. Every check-down pass, every cautious read, every post-game quote, it's all wrapped in a calm that feels more like comfort than command. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is sitting back like a chess master watching a checkers match unfold. Every rep in practice, every pre-game warm-up, every sideline camera pan, it's all a countdown. He doesn't need to talk, the confidence radiates off him. It's that quiet kind of certainty that doesn't demand attention, it just waits for the scoreboard to make the argument. And let's be honest, the fans see it too. You can hear it in the stadium every time Dillon tosses a safe 5-yard pass on 3rd and 8, the sighs say everything. That's experience, apparently, the same kind that keeps you from updating your computer for 5 years until it crashes mid-presentation. Dillon's clinging to the myth that veteran equals security, even as drives sputter like an old minivan. His style is predictable, steady, uninspired, and allergic to risk. No fireworks. No flair. Just vibes.
Told y'all it's gonna have to be over Stefanski's dead body before you put Shedeur in willingly. He's not going. Y'all, you think a head coach who didn't acknowledge somebody's presence all year long, somebody who don't even want to say somebody's name, somebody who can't even give details about their progress as a player, as a rookie in the NFL, is going to willingly in over their guy? No, no, no. Y'all, Dan Lanning and Kevin Stefanski is like this. Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel is like this. That's his guy. Kevin Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel.
For a coach terrified of chaos, Dillon Gabriel is comforting, and that's the problem. Football doesn't reward comfort, it rewards creativity, swagger, and the right dose of recklessness that turns plays into legends. That's what Shedeur Sanders brings. He's not just a quarterback, he's a spectacle. The kind of player who makes you stop mid-bite and whisper, did he really just do that? Every move feels like it belongs on a highlight reel narrated by destiny itself. When Shedeur takes command, the field shifts, the line stiffens, the routes sharpen, and the fans start believing in miracles again. It's not luck, it's presence. And presence can't be taught, no matter how many film sessions or leadership talks you sit through. Dillon, meanwhile, looks like a man who memorized every playbook but never learned the rhythm of the game. Coaches wear that same uneasy expression before they're forced into the inevitable switch, a blend of denial and dread. They keep selling Dillon's leadership like it's a scoreboard stat, hoping no one notices the offense crawling on training wheels. But leadership without execution is just poetry in cleats. Sooner or later, every team must face the truth. Football doesn't need speeches, it needs touchdowns.
Someone in the coaching staff needs to address this from Dillon Gabriel yesterday. Patrick Queen goes on a blitz at Dillon Gabriel, and as Patrick is on his way up, Dillon Gabriel does this. Kind of weird, but whatever. Now, this is his passing chart from yesterday. All 52 passes. What do you guys notice here? A lot of them are behind the line of scrimmage, are barely in front of it. Now, 2 passes I saw, they basically dropped. A lot of them were behind the receivers, but this is what we're talking about here. This is what we're talking about when we say we know exactly what we're gonna get.
There's a reason the universe loves poetic justice. It always finds a way to balance the scales. Right now, it's setting the stage perfectly in Cleveland. The same experience Stefanski keeps preaching is about to crack under the weight of its own caution. And when it does, Shedeur Sanders' name will glow on that roster like a neon sign in the dark. Because when preparation meets opportunity, sparks fly, and that's Shedeur's entire game. Picture the moment, Dillon Gabriel dumps off one too many checkdowns, the crowd starts to murmur, the offense feels flat, and Stefanski finally looks down the sideline. There's Shedeur, helmet strapped, eyes burning, ready. That's when the Browns stop surviving and start living. It's the quiet kind of turning point where history flips the page without asking permission. When Shedeur steps onto that field, it won't just be about proving he deserves a shot, it'll be about dismantling the myth that experience outweighs raw ability. Football isn't a seniority contest, it's a results business. And Shedeur? He's pure electricity. The fans can feel it, the patience is fading, and Dillon's so-called game management is starting to look less like veteran wisdom and more like hesitation.
But this is what we learned about Dillon Gabriel today. He runs Kevin Stefanski's offense to a T, which is what Stefanski wants. The difference between Gabriel and Shedeur, well, this is what it is.
Dillon Gabriel plays like a man terrified of landing on ESPN's Not Top 10. That's not leadership, that's survival mode. You can see it in every cautious throw, every safe read. He's playing to keep a job he already knows he's renting. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders moves like the future's already written in his name, because it is. Stefanski's loyalty feels less like strategy and more like comfort food. He's clinging to what's familiar, even if what's familiar is painfully bland. It's the coaching version of reheating leftovers instead of trying a new recipe, and sure, it'll fill you up for a bit, but eventually someone at the table is going to crave something better. The locker room feels that hunger too. Players can sense when the balance shifts, when one guy's the spark and the other's just a flicker. Whispers turn into momentum, and momentum turns into change. When that change comes, the narrative will flip faster than a bad pancake right after the scoreboard forces Stefanski's hand. But that's football. Nobody admits they're wrong until the right answer starts winning games. And when Shedeur finally gets his shot, he won't just win them, he'll redefine them. The tempo, the energy, the creativity, everything Dillon tiptoes around, Shedeur will storm through with purpose and flair.
Kevin Stefanski, during this post-game interview, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, he's making it a point to not play Shedeur. He's tired of the questions. He's tired of people like me and everybody else that's commenting say Shedeur needs to play. He's purposely not going to put him in. He is flexing on everybody that is in media, that are fans, that are asking the same questions that I'm asking, when are we going to see Shedeur? And if it is up to him and Gabriel is healthy, we're probably never going to see him this season. But at this point, as bad as this organization is, I don't even know if I want him to play anymore.
For all the talk about earning it, the truth is simple: some players are just built differently. Dillon Gabriel fits neatly inside a system, Shedeur Sanders builds one from scratch. That's the gap between experience and excellence. You can coach a player to follow the playbook, but you can't coach them to own the moment. That spark, that charisma, that's pure Shedeur. Meanwhile, Stefanski's still clinging to his comfort blanket of veteran reliability, hoping predictability will somehow outshine potential. But the league has seen this movie before: the cautious coach, the overlooked star, and the inevitable changing of the guard. And when it happens, it won't feel like an upset, it'll feel like destiny showing up right on time. Because when the dust settles, no one remembers the placeholder, they remember the breakthrough. They'll talk about Shedeur's impossible throws, the drives that recharged a lifeless offense, the moments that turned Cleveland football from routine into revelation. That's what sticks. Every experienced starter eventually becomes a footnote, a name dropped in remember when conversations right before someone adds, "Yeah, but then Shedeur took over." That's how fast football rewrites its heroes. One week you're the coach's favorite, the next you're holding a clipboard, wondering how the kid made it look so easy.
This is the NFL. We have to be better, and that's the we. I have to be better for this football team. Our coaches have to be better for this football team. Our players have to be better for this football team. The bottom line is, there's things that will hold you back from winning, and you got to knock those out so you give yourself a chance. He's a tough kid. We got to keep him clean. Obviously, when the game turns into how it turned, the two-score game, you have to drop back, and that's a tough team to drop back versus. But he kept battling. It wasn't for lack of effort by him or by anybody. Made some plays, but
The truth is, Dillon Gabriel's problem isn't that he's bad, it's that he's ordinary. And ordinary doesn't last long when extraordinary is waiting right behind it. Shedeur Sanders isn't built to wait politely in the shadows. He's too competitive, too gifted, too confident to sit quietly while the offense sputters and stalls. Every snap Dillon takes feels like a borrowed moment, and everyone, fans, teammates, coaches, can sense that ticking clock. The offense changes instantly. The tempo sharpens, the receivers start to believe again, the linemen dig deeper, and the crowd comes alive before the drive even finishes. That's the Shedeur effect. He doesn't just manage a game, he transforms it. He turns doubt into energy, frustration into fire. Because for a team stuck in neutral, Shedeur isn't just a new option, he's ignition itself. The moment he takes the field, Cleveland won't just feel different, they'll be different.
We focus very hard on those avoidable penalties, which are the pre-snap penalties. Obviously, we had an illegal formation there in the game. We have to be better in those areas, and then you have to play with clean technique. That's always going to be a part of this as well. Understanding that your hand placement, how you do your job is very important.
Dillon Gabriel is the product of a system that prizes caution over creativity. He's the safe hands quarterback, steady, respectable, unthreatening. The kind of guy who helps coaches sleep better at night but makes fans fight to stay awake during the game. And that's fine for a while. But when excitement walks in wearing the number Shedeur Sanders, even safety starts to look stale. Then there's the locker room factor. Players don't rally around resumes, they rally around energy. He plays like he believes in everyone around him, and that belief spreads faster than any halftime speech ever could. Before long, the entire roster starts elevating to meet his standard. They can sense when a coach is managing outcomes instead of chasing greatness, and right now, Stefanski feels like he's protecting the team from the very thing that could save it. But football has a way of forcing change when you try to delay it too long. The universe doesn't wait for permission, it rewards readiness. And when that moment comes, Shedeur's going to seize it like he's been preparing for it his entire life, because he has.
So what makes y'all think he's going to willingly put Shedeur Sanders in just for the fuck of it? Because he know everything is not going according to plan. I'm telling y'all, it's over his dead fucking body. He's not going willingly. He's not willingly putting Shedeur Sanders in. It's not happening, y'all. We might as well chalk it up, y'all. It's not happening. Even though no matter what we say, no matter what I say, bro, I knew it, y'all. Stefanski gonna have to get fired, y'all. I just don't see Stefanski putting Shedeur in. It would surprise me. It really would, because you know how Stefanski been treating Shedeur all year long, bro.
And that's what separates him. Shedeur Sanders doesn't need Stefanski's approval to know he's the future. He carries himself like it every single day. The fans see it, the players feel it, and soon enough, even the coaching staff won't be able to ignore it. You'll see energy where hesitation used to live, swagger where caution once lingered. And maybe then, Stefanski will realize that experience and evolution aren't the same thing. Playing it safe might protect your job for a moment, but trusting what's next is how you build something lasting. Because what's next isn't waiting, it's already here. His name is Shedeur Sanders, and when his moment comes, he won't just take the field, he'll take ownership of it. The future isn't approaching, it's already wearing orange and brown, warming up on the sideline, ready to make Cleveland believe again.